Alright, so who would like to talk to me before I leave? Just in case. Oh,
What?
oh. It's just you. What's the point? Plans, like shadows, fade away with the setting sun. Your sudden pessimism is misplaced. Immortal agreed to give up the theater. The theater. I was rather hoping for a fortress, but perhaps the tragedy of our demise befits a bigger stage instead. The other buildings don't meet my requirements, and their inhabitants are much less cooperative. The theater it is, then. I was the one who told you to consider it in the first place. Tell me what you need. We need people. The more, the better. Recruitment of orderlies is already underway. Some volunteers experienced the first outbreak, which I suppose is an asset. We're also looking for anyone with even minimal medical knowledge, in the hopes of finding competent assistance for you. The disease needs to be studied. I need patients who don't succumb to the sand pest right away, like Stamatin's dancer. They look relatively healthy, but they carry the plague. Isidore developed a simple test for the sand plague way back then. Yes, I'll find orderlies who were trained to administer it. You'll have your patients. I'll try to organize everything by tomorrow morning. Anything to stop this. I just hope it's not already too late. What do you think? We're already too late. There's no other choice but to stand and fight. Day 2 is now available. Now I can tell more about the past. Hello. Now I should book it over to Stamatin also. Ooh. The hospital will be established as a theater. In the theater. I need to report this to Town Hall. The town's authorities have been notified the hospital will receive its first patients starting this next morning. Thank you to the polyhedron, talk to Stamatin. Peter's in high demand today. Drunk Peter. Our blooded fugitive escaped to the flank district. What can he possibly need there? Soft-hearted Lara patched Peter up and walked him home. I must hurry before he takes off on another bender. So before I suspected maybe you could go to an early day, so I was trying to go to the earliest possible day, thinking maybe you could play forward from there, but now we know that you can only loop the same day over and over again, and then you have to manually change days. I'll probably try to play the early days first, so maybe I'll go backwards to day 2 even, if that's an option now. First we gotta focus on what we're doing here. So I only have 3 hours left. It goes fast. My goals are to go there and there, opposite directions, but otherwise not the end of the world. It might be worth going through the Chine just to see if I can find the core or whatever. The Chine or the Atrium? I mean, the Chine's linear-ish. You have a better chance of being able to find it. Just frustrating that I didn't find it already. I really was relying on the idea that it would somehow be in the place it had been last time, and then it wasn't. Is there anything calming around here? Swings. Ah.
Never alone. Things everywhere.
There we go. Like, please stop having a heart attack. For now, let's get our ass over here and get this quest going. Because for all I know, there could be more steps. Let's see if he actually stays in his own damn house or not. It's interesting because this is in some ways less open world, but it's almost certainly going to be a longer playthrough than my playthrough of 2. Because it often covers similar ground, but you're replaying each day multiple times. That said, the form of travel often is so fast that maybe maybe having way less time walking through town means the playthrough will still be faster, even though you're replaying the day multiple times in many cases. Yep, the art room. I still remember going up like the little staircase with the little statue and stuff in the first game. Fire in the tub. This guy's very dramatic. Peter Stamatin, apathetic architect. We were briefly acquainted in the capital. Peter wasn't particularly alert, but he never stared into space like he does now. In this very town, he built the polyhedron. He took to drinking, unable to bear the beauty of his own masterpiece, or the thought that he'd never create anything better. Apparently the polyhedron truly is an unparalleled achievement.
Never allow yourself any time to think. That's how you get to heaven.
Ah. Look who's here. Dankovsky. I've been looking for you. What have you got burning there? I just decided to make a fire, that's all. I felt like looking at a fire. Why are you here? A fire in a bathtub? That's unusual. Are you burning papers? What are those? You're quite observant, Dankovsky. And indiscreet. Did your mother never tell you it's bad manners to ask someone what exactly they're burning in their bathtub? What are you here for? I stopped by the polyhedron today. It's making alarming sounds, as if it's shaking in the wind. And since you built it, I wanted to ask you about it. Peter? Give me a second. I need to rake up these papers so they burn better. Tell me, Dankovsky, what university did you study architecture at? What? Who was your materials science professor? Look, I'm not trying to pry. I wouldn't be doing this if the town hadn't put me in charge today. But now that I'm in charge, well, concerns about the polyhedron come with the territory. Now, imagine I came to you and started asking all kinds of questions about cellular immortality. What exactly do you want to know? Nobody likes a prying amateur, Dankovsky. What do you care about the polyhedron? Do you have any relevant education? A good expert should be able to explain difficult things with simple words. Nonsense. Even if I tried to explain its design to you, you wouldn't understand a damn thing I said. So what's the point of talking about it? Children live there. It could be dangerous. You think I don't know that? You think I didn't take that into account? Peter Stamatin erected an unstable and dangerous vertical absurdity on the town's outskirts and housed an entire crowd of kids in it, knowingly putting their lives in peril. That's what you think, huh? That's what you're implying? Yes. So I'm here to have my mind changed. Why would I bother to change your mind? Who do you think you are? I don't work for you. Get the hell out of here. Now. Screw you then. What an obstinate fool. I wonder if I failed the quest for not being nice enough or something. I found Peter the most miserable state that a man could possibly descend to. But he swears by the polyhedron stability. Not that it's a good place to actually spend time in anyway. Even the fucking shape of the quest is a fucking boomerang shape to imply that it just went in a big circle the whole time. It's easily the longest chain of pips in the entire sequence. I think it's even longer than these ones that have multiple major bits. God, he sabotaged my day yesterday just trying to chase him around in circles. And you barely even get any information out of him. He just sucks. Great. Well, I guess we'll get back out of here. Maybe I'll check out the atrium. Nuts to you. There's neat art everywhere about the polyhedron and other stuff. The problem is that, of course, you're playing a game with a time limit, so you're not in a hurry to... Not really in a hurry to stand around all day like that. Peter had built the polyhedron and keeps drawing it again and again. The drawing is fresh. Again. He'll never invent anything new. It's like the act of crafting it has like captured his mind and now he's just spiraling about the polyhedron forever. Well, the way out of here goes straight through. Let's see. No, I can go... No, I'll have to go through here. Yeah, let's go to the... Let's go to that other place. And I'll run around a little bit looking for the core if I can. So it'd be nice to get that progress on that quest. Oh, it's getting stuck in the fire. I'm getting apathetic. Oh wait, am I gonna be really apathetic when I get there? Does that progress during... Not really. I was worried it might progress a lot based on the in-game clock. I only have an hour. Fuck. Whoa. That's neat. Who the fuck made that? I could use with a red thing. These things are around. Do I burn them? I just wasted that. God damn it. I don't think she's attacking me right now. So if this place does have an epicenter, it might be the safest time to go after one. Because no one's hunting me, it feels like. Am I hearing something over here? Is it just this tree? I don't remember if there's like a logic to finding the center. Oh wait, I have more than 2 hours left. Being overcome by apathy, though. Better. A sandbox. I'm hoping that I recognize it when I see it. So I can't really like evoke the image in my head of what I'm looking for. The audio around here is crazy. Can I banish those guys? Oh yeah, didn't Masahito sorry. Didn't the Silent Hill guy do the soundtrack to this game? Wasn't that, I think that was a reveal at one point that they got the Silent Hill guy on for this game. Which is cool. And now they're making the next Darkwood, so they just kind of are having a cool trajectory of really interesting horror collaboration. Is it, does every, I don't know how it works really, this mechanic. Like, do all of them have it? Does every plague district have like an epicenter I could potentially get the thing from? Or is it only when she's currently hunting me? They said it was tied to like next to a flower. I saw some kind of weird thing that I sucked the energy out of or whatever the one time it happened. I don't really remember the imagery of a flower specifically, but I found there was some kind of object that was maybe a plant. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. That's rough. I found it the first time that it was brought up. And but not in a way where I just ran to the end of the level that was a linear hallway basically, and then it was at the end. And I'm like, oh, okay, there it is.
But there's so much of the world.
Now I've now failed to find it since then. Brutal. Things are pretty wrapped up around here.
Enough.
He's always just hanging out. You ever blink? I think they do blink sometimes. Anything to analyze? Nope. I actually have the ingredients to make some calomel if I wanted to. Just one though, and it would cost me things that I kind of want, is the issue. It's a weird system to me. It just feels so much easier just to trade for it at the stores. Right, somebody is supposed to be here to help me with my job. Someone new. Heron, pedantic secretary. The Ogimskis forced his assistance on me. He received visitors, handled the paperwork, and, of all things in Stillwater, loved the inkwell most. At first it didn't occur to me what his true role really was. To watch you, to control you. I was told, you've taken it upon yourself to rule the town and save us from disaster. Let's assume that's true. Boss assigned me to help you. In an organizational sense, so to speak. What are your orders? First of all, I need the big picture. How many days we have left, the condition of the town. Duly noted. Would you mind giving me a general strategic overview of your administrative approach before moving to specific orders? Strategic. Oh, no, it's so trippy whenever we change perspective. Yes. Do you have a concrete plan of action? We have precious little time. The town appears to have only 2 or 3 days remaining. Beyond that, it will become a hecatomb. Which means we must bargain with death for more time. Another day, then another, then 2 more. In other words, you currently have no concrete plan of action. You intend to improvise and edit your decrees on the fly. Correct. The situation will change daily, perhaps hourly. The emergency command must adapt. Infection isn't the only threat facing the town. Panic is equally dangerous. The public is illiterate and fears restrictions. If our medical measures are too draconian, they'll put our heads on spikes. It's so surreal the way that you switch perspective, in particular because I'm like, I've played so many RPGs. For a lot of the history of this channel, that's been the core thing I do. Then sometimes it was furry visual novels, sometimes it was our puzzle games and so on. But like, I started with RPGs, specifically with Souls-likes, but then went on to my love of these, of dialogue-driven, like BioWare-ish RPGs. Then grew to learn about CRPGs, having not really played them until this channel, really, but knew about that they existed. I've never seen this happen. I think I've seen games where you experience your protagonist from the outside perspective at some point in a variety of contexts. But like this game will just casually, mid-conversation, be like, you know what? This is a moment where we just need it's like one of those moments where, for example, in Mass Effect 3, people chafed at the fact that Shepard talks sometimes without you prompting them to do anything. They just kind of go on their own. And it bothered people because they're like, I didn't pick a dialogue option. And admit it, in those kinds of interactions, that kind of conversation was often pretty linear in the previous games, and you weren't really making that much of a choice on Shepard's behalf. You kind of were just prompting them to say something. And they streamlined some of those moments to have Shepard just talk on their own and just go ahead and just move the conversation along. And people chafed against that because of the fact that it was going on without your interaction. That's not how the last 2 games worked. It's not how the genre usually works. I need some water. But this is a really interesting little take on that friction, because here there's just moments where the Bachelor is enough of an expert, or enough of a free agent, or enough of a person that like specifically has a role to play in this narrative, independent of whatever choices we might want to make. And so there's moments where the Bachelor's a bit more of a Geralt, in that they're a character that is a pre-existing character that is written, and you even see acting independently of you when you play other characters. So these are characters that you experience from the outside at times. And there's just moments where it doesn't make that much sense to leave the player in control of the dialogue, because it's just time for the Bachelor to actually explain something, essentially, or be interrogated as a character on some level. And in moments like that, you could just have the Bachelor have one dialogue option over and over again, but that would be boring. So in a way, it's much more interesting to then switch the other character and get to pick dialogue options that you use against the Bachelor and see how he reacts to those, instead of being able to control the Bachelor. It's like, it's a very interesting perspective to have. It's wild. It's a tool that I've basically never seen used. The closest I could think of would be like Disco Elysium, being that your protagonist talks to themselves at times. Speaking of stuff, which there's a game called Esoteric Ebb, I think it's called, which is it's like more fantasy, I think, but there's a new game that came out that's very Disco Elysium style, and I'm like really curious about that. I was heartened to see that it showed up in the vote alongside this game, and it ranked pretty high. It was like top 4. I don't remember the exact ranking, but I think the top 3 was like Pathologic 3, and then 9 Souls, and then Esoteric Ebb, maybe? I don't remember. But it was definitely in the top like 5, at least. So I'm like, oh, okay. Because I've heard cool stuff about that game, but it seemed like such a weird, random, obscure game, though, that I was worried that maybe people hadn't caught wind of it. And that'd be a bummer if I went to go play the game, but then nobody watched it because they hadn't heard of it, because it's called Esoteric Ebb, which, what the fuck? If that even is what it's called. I think it's called that. You know, just one of those like, what the fuck's he playing? I'm not clicking on that. It's like just a thing that happens sometimes. Correct. The situation will change daily, perhaps hourly. The emergency command must adapt. Infection isn't the only threat facing the town. Panic is equally dangerous. The public is illiterate and fears restrictions. If our medical measures are too draconian, they'll put our heads on spikes. So that's what you think of people? What would you prefer? Kind words or a cure for the plague? People are scared. Fear leads to violence. So you have 2 epidemics, one of plague and one of fear. I've written that down. Well said. We must balance this seesaw. At times we'll need to lift quarantine measures to prevent unrest. At other times we might need to distract people or amuse them. We must find a way to suppress discontent. Otherwise, the town will fall to flames rather than miasma. Amuse them? We may find there are multiple approaches to solving the same problem. What matters is balancing the levels of discontent and contagion that allow us to live to see another day. I'll draw ideas and inspiration from anything. I'll contemplate the decrees constantly, and I'll sign them right here at this desk. And through this, you'll have full control over the town's condition. If only. Doubtlessly, events will transpire that influence both unrest and contagion. I must deal with the consequences. With any luck, I'll be able to clear the plagued districts on my own. At least, I'll do my best. If it works, it will be an immense advantage. That's good? Because the emergency command's resources are limited. Volunteers, equipment, fuel. I'll have to change the decrees often, adapting the situation, offsetting one thing for another. You should be prepared for that. I've written all that down, and of this I assure you. While you hold power, your every word will be law. The law of heaven, not merely of earth. Any order will be fulfilled immediately. You won't have to worry about who fulfills them or how. Everything will run like clockwork. In your town, I find any clock-based metaphor questionable. Anything else? Right, yes. Right now I'm going to analyze the medication young Vlad has been injecting people with. It's dangerous on its own, but it might lead to other findings. And you'll send an orderly to the pub. I need samples of the dancer's blood. They'll know which one. I really should have done that myself. Written down. And that disastrous decree about dead gruel vaccinations must be taken down. I'll do that myself. My decisions echo in the future. Emergency command desk. Town management takes place at my desk. Town management? There's more? Oh. Give me a prompt here, but then I keep not getting to use it. Up there. Oh, I have to look up there. Town died. Whoops. Yeah, it's what I talked about. There's almost a goofy little level of farce to the idea that characters have they get crossed out when they die. It's like, yeah, obviously they do die earlier than others, and that's a problem I need to rectify to keep things going. But yeah, like, only a few days in the future, the entire town is dead. Town died is a funny posted note, though. Okay, so right now, day 5 is the furthest in I've been, and it's a dead end where various officials are just giving up and staring at statues of memorials of loved ones, and Dankovsky ends the day by just shooting himself. So day 5 is the current guaranteed end of the town until I can rectify things. So I can only play days 1 through 5, but I can't play day 1 or 2 either. So I can only play day 3 through 5. I think I just unlocked day 2 though. So that's our overall limitation. Focus of infection eliminated. Critical event. Focus of infection eliminated. There it is. So that's the whole thing where I get the projectile. It's funny because they make it sound like you're going to shoot the infection with a gun, basically, which is a very comical way of resolving it. But it's a metaphor because, you know, you go and you analyze the infection and whatnot. I don't know how you're solving individual focuses of infection throughout the town in a way that doesn't result in you actually knowing how to solve the entire infection with an actual vaccine, but oh well. Forecast. If the town lives, I live. To ensure this, I must keep the contagion and the unrest within acceptable limits with decrees. Better yet, I must seek other ways as well. I was granted the authority to enact up to 3 decrees each day. The more I study the town, the more ways I will find to influence it. Okay. Day 3. Variolation of the population. Immunize the townspeople with Ogimski's new remedy to combat the sand pest. Enacted. The search. Ideas for new decrees will appear if I carry out tasks for locals. So that's an incentive to do various quests, is that they give you new decrees. At this point in the timeline, we lost 600 of our resources and 30 of our orderlies to this quest. And the effect was plus 200 contagion. So it made the contagion worse. Okay, so we need to remove this decree. There we go. Critical event is gone. That's good. Contagion is not necessary. Yeah, the contagion went down. So it was just straight up... It being there was making the disease kill everyone faster. So we're much better now. Things ramp up. So not only does the disease grow every day, it grows faster every day. It's growing like... Yeah, it grows 50% faster on day 4 than on day 3. It goes up 1 bar, then 1.5 bars, and then here it just explodes. Okay. Since we're on day 3, I can only do stuff from here. Let's see what I can do here. Stopping time. Halt the town clocks. It takes 5 patrolmen, and it reduces contagion and unrest both. Which is wild. I don't know what they mean by halt the town clocks. Just literally? Just stop having clocks? Like what? Curfew. Restrict the townspeople's freedom of movement to reduce the spread of the disease. Task force 200 patrolmen. Resources minus 100 equipment. Reduced unrest. No effect on the disease. Unrest going down is good, right? Quarantine. Find the... Oop. Oh, there's the unrest bar. So right now we kind of don't have any much unrest. No unrest yet. So quarantine makes unrest worse, but curfew doesn't? It just has a calming effect, I guess? Find the relatives of the infected people and put them into quarantine. Takes 10 patrolmen and 100 fuel. It does a good job at reducing the plague. Annoyingly, the plague seems to grow by just as much tomorrow. It doesn't get reduced down the line. Like, it literally goes down, but it goes down by the same amount as over here, seemingly. It doesn't seem to go down proportionally. Protection from Shopnak. Place frightening scarecrows in uninfected districts. So these are all good, overall. Let's see. How am I doing on fuel? I've got some fuel at the moment. You would kind of hope that... You would hope that reducing the contagion as much as possible early on would make the contagion as weak as possible later, because the exponential growth would be cut off earlier. So you expect them to be these measures to be exponentially more effective early on. That's why it was so important to react as quickly as possible with all of our actual lockdowns in real life. But it genuinely seems to just be a linear reduction. It's almost equally effective no matter where it goes. What stands out is that it seems like... Ah, you can do them every day. Okay. The quarantine will make them more unhappy every day. Okay, patrolman's always at 30. I was trying to make sure I knew how it worked here. Oh, it says this, then that, then remaining. Got it. Trying to see if I can keep ping-ponging unrest back and forth at the low bar here. So using up 50 equipment, 100 fuel, 20 patrolmen. So using up 20 of them, then 30 of them, then 20 of them each day. Doesn't change when the town actually dies, unfortunately. That stays the same. Because it's plot basically right now, but the trajectory of the town is better, and maybe this will mean that... I wonder if this determines how many regions are currently plague districts and how many regions are currently war zones, basically. Like, if you can keep it that low, then maybe it'll stay at only having one district in the region where people are attacking people, and maybe this can reduce how many of them are currently plaguey. Hard to say. I gave it a go. Okay, I was like, how do I leave this menu? We did that. I have 1 hour left, so am I going to inspect that thing? The pen is mightier. Only stories told in full are included in the interrogation report. If a story is abandoned halfway, it must be retold from the beginning. Yeah, I know. Now, because I lived through it. Quid pro quo. I can't take Vlad's vaccine from the town and give nothing in return. First I'll examine its composition in my lab. So now we're doing the tutorial for that. We're still doing tutorials and new mechanics being layered on. It's fascinating. I am the law. I have taken power. Now I must decide how the town fights the epidemic. The operational headquarters will be located in Stillwater. Alright, so we're down to just... I have 1 hour to investigate the sample. We've been waiting for this interaction to do something. There's children in here. This is where I set up my laboratory. On one side, the reagents. On the other, work with the prototype. An apparatus for experiments. Perhaps I can obtain the first vaccine sample. A charging station for the prototype. The day will come when the charger for this device will be smaller than a suitcase. Return the reagents. A set of reagents for analysis, set for chemical synthesis. I can't synthesize antibiotics, but I'm not synthesizing anything yet, really. That's enough. Let's get to work. What a strange menu and system to navigate. The suspicious potion. A supposed vaccine by younger Ogimsky. Material examined. A disgusting mixture of fat clumps, plague-stricken tissues, and dirty herbs for smell. Might help a steppe worm, but will harm a human. Killer doctors. Vlad Jr.'s mistake was giving people either a placebo or an unattenuated bacterium. Whoever gets lucky. Ugh. Okay, but what do I do next? It says not available at the end of the day. Wait, the children are gone. Wait.
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
Oh no. Wait, did I just go outside?
Smart, intelligent, logical, but so very fixated on whatever he deemed important. We wouldn't even allow the possibility that he could miss something. He failed to understand what kind of place this is, what soil. He only noticed what was convenient, so we mostly left him alone. I sympathized.
Can you hear me?
I need to be in 2 places at once. 3 places. Otherwise, it's all for naught.
Can you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying?
That's them being right in front of each other, but he's actively ignoring her. I don't know if there's any interaction or further thing to do here in these moments. So I'm worried that analyzing a sample takes an hour, and it therefore skipped ahead to the end of the day and cut off whatever interaction I was supposed to do. Because this is listed like it's not done. It just suddenly became the next day, even though I had an hour left. So I'm worried that examining takes an hour. And I might have to play the day again just for that one interaction, or any steps that it makes me redo to get there. Which is a little silly. Especially since I wanted to examine that sample all day, but they kept not letting me do it because I have to wait till the story to say it to do it. Like, I had that sample the whole time. I got it yesterday, which was also today. Yes, it's not available at the end of the day. Some bitch. Well, I guess next episode, I'll find out what happens when I try to use the time stuff again. And we'll see if I have to fix something again today, or if I get to finally play a different day. Either way, it shouldn't take that long, and if it does take long, I'll probably skip most of it from your guys' perspective because I basically already did it. There's the boat. Can I move the boat? I don't know if the boat thing and saying if I should think in 5D or whatever is actually a mechanic to solve, or if they're just having a there is no spoon moment of referencing what's going on in the game. Either way, I'll see you guys next time.